Thanks, Christine Bavanda. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, good evening. Thanks for joining us in the second segment of information. Inhabitants of Équinoxe in the Eyumujok subdivision of the Manu Division, southwest region of Cameroon, say the inauguration of the Cross River Bridge marks a pathway to development propelled by facilitated trade between Cameroon and its giant neighbor Nigeria, co-financed by the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the government of the Republic of Cameroon, parts of the European Union and the African Development Bank. The bridge constructed on the Cross River is part of a vast and a giant project to connect Africa by land from Mombasa in Kenya to Monrovia in the West Africa, that is in Liberia, through Bamenda in Cameroon and Bangui in the Central African Republic. We have details with Immaculate Fogwe in the following report.
The 403-meter Cross River Bridge, linking Équinoxe in the Manu Division of the Southwest region and Fum in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, is now open to the public. The inauguration of the bridge was done in the presence of the Minister of Public Works, representing Cameroon, and the Minister of External Relations, representing the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
I
want to congratulate the company that carried out works here and all those who helped in one way or the other. Let's make good use of this bridge.
Nous en tirions le meilleur avantage en produisant mieux.
The bridge will not only facilitate the circulation of goods and persons along the Bamenda, Mamfe, Abakaliki and Enugu corridor, but will go a long way to consolidate relations between Cameroon and Nigeria.
Équinoxe has been going through some challenges, but thanks to the dynamism of the team that is there now, things are improving. We're very comfortable with what we get as revenue from Équinoxe. But compared to fiscal years, that they increased revenue by more than 40%, which to us is a very a good sign. And of course, the days ahead are good.
Nigerian representatives say this new bridge will facilitate the fight against rising insecurity at the Nigerian and Cameroonian borders. 23 billion francs CFA was the amount used to construct the bridge. The funds were provided by the Cameroonian and Nigerian government with the collaboration of the African Development Bank and European Union.
And as I said, it is part of a vast project to link Africa by land from Mombasa in Kenya to Monrovia in Liberia, that's in West Africa, through Bamenda in Cameroon and Bangui in the Central African Republic. We shall be coming back to other aspects of the bridge subsequently. Time for us to talk Cameroon and politics. 40 years of Paul Biya at the helm of the affairs in Cameroon of the Supreme Magistracy. It was on November the 6th, 1982 that the President Paul Biya took over power. It is 40 years with November 2022 that will be commemorated by party supporters tomorrow. But in the northern regions of Cameroon, that is the Adamawa, the north and the far north region, those who think that the 40 years of President Paul Biya was characterized by lies and unfulfilled promises. Some individuals, mainly of the opposition, who spoke to our reporters Amadou Dairo and Innocent Aze, get their views and their reactions, their perception of the New Deal in the following report.
I do so swear.
Taking over from Amadou Ahidjo as president of Cameroon on November 6, 1982, the current head of state and his New Deal government promised a beautiful heaven to Cameroonians. Such a paradise is lived even today by northern Cameroonians, who seem to have been completely abandoned since the first president Amadou Ahidjo resigned on November 4, 1982. Critics say this part of Cameroon is only remembered during election periods. When you love a girl, you have to cater for her. If not, she will become a prostitute.
Est-ce que vous voulez que les partis prostituent parce qu'on veut que notre région soit développée? Je dis non.
Under the New Deal done, the far north region, for instance, lacks befitting educational infrastructures with benches and tables.
Il y a plusieurs établissements scolaires qui n'ont pas d'enseignants. D'il y a 40 ans sont aujourd'hui détériorés.
A region which has today transformed into a Boko Haram slaughter zone.
Quand le renouveau venait, il n'y avait pas les attaques.
According to a politician, The Bia's regime is filled with lies telling and fake promises. The New Deal regime has failed to the population. 40 years gone, no good road infrastructures, electricity, potable water, and many other facilities.
Dans la poussière, dans la ruine.
According to Boubakari Djouberou of the CPDM Maroua 2,
En 40 ans, beaucoup a été fait.
the Bia administration has done more than you can imagine in 40 years, especially in the educational sector, where he has created the University of Maroua and multiplied schools with good infrastructures. A great relief to Cameroonian youths.
Et des collèges qui ont été créés en 40 ans.
Youths who, according to Jean-Pierre Boucher, Far North Regional Secretary of the CRM, and Koji Wandala, Communication Secretary of the UNGP for the Mayo Chanaga Division, graduate and frustrate with certificates, not even a state-created industry to employ them.
Or, c'est par l'industrialisation qu'on change la vie des gens.
40 years in suffering and misery, it is still unclear if these northern Cameroonians, who have been optimistic and patient for change, will entrust the successor of President Amadou Ahidjo with another term in office come 2025, when he makes up his mind to run for election to stay in power for another 7 years.
And the perception that the New Deal at 40 is a New Deal characterized by underdevelopment is not only propelled by inhabitants and locals of the northern regions of Cameroon, notably the Adjama, the north and the far north, but it is also part of some inhabitants of the east region of Cameroon. They say that 40 years of Bia at the Supreme Magistracy in Cameroon, over 80% of the road network remains in a deplorable state across the east region. We have details with Mala Glory in the following report.
Leaving Baturi to Mulundu and passing through Yukaduma in the east region is a hectic ride for most users, especially during rainy seasons. On a road of about 22,914 kilometers square, only 606 kilometers, that is 2.2% of the road is tarred. Civil society actors accuse the local authorities for not playing their role.
Je crois que ici, à ce niveau, sur le problème routier, il s'agit là de notre propre problème. C'est notre élite elle-même, n'est-ce pas, qui n'a véritablement pas joué pleinement son rôle.
Despite being rich in natural resources, the East region is ironically poor in social amenities. This because the exploiters make use of the resources and neglect the needs of the people.
Nous devons avoir le courage d'interroger les nôtres. Ce sont les nôtres parce qu'il faut simplement aller dans les réparations. C'est eux qui contournent la loi, c'est eux qui contractualisent avec les investisseurs étrangers, c'est eux qui développent les failles.
According to the civil society actors, analyzing the 40 years of the head of state in the East region, it is considered as fruitless years. Meantime, as Cameroonians prepare to celebrate the 40 years anniversary of President Paul Biya, many question his running again in the 2025 presidential election, since he said during the French president's visit that he still has time to decide, so time will tell.
And a New Deal is also held responsible for the non-realization of the promised ring road in the northwest region of Cameroon. We shall be coming back to the reports of the road network in the northwest region of Cameroon as per the 40 years of the New Deal subsequently. Now, time for us to take you to information out of Cameroon to Seva. First, in the neighboring Equatorial Guinea, the incumbent president, Teodoro Obiangema Mbasgo, is going in with his all-powerful PDG political party that has been at the helm of affairs for over 40 years in Equatorial Guinea. And next to Equatorial Guinea is the Democratic Republic of Congo, where President Felix Tshisekedi has called on youth to support the government in the rising armed conflict in the eastern part of the country. He says the youth must also stand up to fight amid worsening but all-powerful M23 rebel activities in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. A roundup of international stories with Mala Glory.
A Equatorial Guinea's President Teodoro Obiangema, who has ruled the West African country for 43 years, launched his bid for a sixth term. The president told a rally his party has chosen him to run for the upcoming elections of November 20th. Two candidates stand against Teodoro Obiangema during this 2022 presidential elections. Re-elected in 2016 with more than 93% of the vote at 80, holds the world record for longevity in power for a living head of state. And in Democratic Republic of Congo, President pleads for youth support amid worsening M23 rebel violence. 3 people have been killed in scuffles over food aid at a displaced persons camp in the eastern part of the country. Many people in the camp have fled fighting between the M23 militia, and Felix Tshisekedi has called for support from young people to resist the rebels. Local officials on Thursday brought food aid to the camp but decided to distribute the aid the following morning, a decision which angered the displaced persons. Some of them were shot and others trampled.
It is an open secret. Cameroonians and supporters of the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon now know that One All Sport will be the key supplier of gadgets for the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon, or the national men's team, as they go for the World Cup in Qatar. The gadgets and kits produced by One All Sports were officially presented in the nation's political capital city today by the president of the Cameroon Football Federation, Samuel Eto'o. The colors, the gadgets and the forms were presented to Cameroonians, and they are now available for Cameroonians wishing to buy. This comes less than 2 days after a decision from the French court gave reasons to Lecoq Sportif, the former supplier or kit supplier of the gadgets of the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon. We shall be coming back to this, but the FECAFO president says he is determined to take the Lions with One All Sport gadget to Qatar. Thanks for staying with Équinoxe Television. Continue to stay with your #1 television channel, Christine Babanda. Have a nice evening.
Have a lovely night for me, Armstrong Sanda. Et c'est la fin de ce journal. Je vous souhaite de passer une agréable soirée et vous remercie de votre fidélité au nom de toute l'équipe d'Équinoxe Télévision.